What's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And today we have a little bit more of a calmer day over here in the cryptocurrency market with the Bitcoin price chart able to hold the dramatic fall that happened yesterday afternoon. The rest of the cryptocurrency market kind of all over the place. You can see over here on the right side of the screen, nothing is down more than 1%. But we do have a lot of recoveries, including Zcash, which has actually recovered the whole fall and set another new high right here, at least in this local high area. The main focus for me throughout the evening that I was keeping an eye on as I was looking at my phone, laying in bed, is to see if we were going to come back down and back test the breakout level. So the rejection level for the total market cap, seeing if we're going to get that breakdown and hit that previous resistance level to turn it into a support. As we can see, prices are still just holding in this area, but we could be getting our rollover starting soon. With these things right in here, just to be straight with you, this could go on for like this for quite a while. It could go on for a week and then finally end up doing it. And really, I'm not a huge fan on like predicting what's going to happen in the short-term time frame. I'm much more of a bigger picture kind of person. But as we wait, patience is going to be the key, and that's the thing that I deem to be likely, at least, is that we come back down to backtest that level that was our resistance level for 6 months. But of course, all of this does tie into my big picture. So that's what we're going to kind of talk about from here on out, is that my big picture perspective of what's happening in this market is very different from what a lot of people expect, right? The majority of people out there are looking for over $100,000 Bitcoin, 200,000, 300,000. I even, everybody's got their own people that they watch. I don't watch very many people, but I have people I've respected that I've watched in this cryptocurrency market for the last 4 to 5 years. And a lot of people, even people who I like sincerely respect in this space who do technical analysis, believe that the price is going to clear significantly higher prices. But I absolutely do not think that is going to happen. And you just have to hear me out, right? If you were here during May, June, and July, and you were watching this channel during that time period, I helped keep the faith, man. I helped keep it to say, look, we're going to hold this price level here for Bitcoin. Everything is going to hold. It's going to take a minute. It's going to hold. We're going to come back out of here by stopping at wave 4 within wave 5, and that we would roll over from this price level. This would occur. We'd get down here and get down here, and then that would be the end of it, right? I was able to keep my faith and my conviction through that time period because this was what was going on. I don't know what Moon Boys are predicting out there. I don't watch any YouTube channels. I don't watch any of it to see what they're predicting out there. But if they didn't have this going on here back in May, June, and July, and they were sitting there saying we could go to $20,000 or we could go to $25,000, that just didn't structurally make any sense. So if anybody thought we could go to $25,000 or go to $20,000 and then now changing it and saying we're going to 150,000, 200,000 or anything like that, that's not following any type of plan. This is a very clear structure happening in Bitcoin. The reason I kept clean conviction, solid conviction during May, June, and July is because this whole structure of this inverse price chart of Bitcoin is very clean and it tells a very easy story of what's happening in here, and that we're in the final wave of the Bitcoin bull run. And that as the price moves down on here, you could see the price of Bitcoin or price per Bitcoin does go up. And that we've talked about this exact phenomenon occurring in many different charts, whether it's Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This phenomenon happens all the time. And then what happens is you could see there's your final breakdown that happens once you take the lows out. And you can see that recently Bitcoin on this inverse chart has taken out these lows and then it has this throwback. And we can see that a throwback does show up in here. And then eventually it goes on for its final push. So I do expect one more push to the upside to happen in Bitcoin. And that's the end of the Bitcoin bull run for likely years. Now, here's the deal, too. We've gone through in complete detail on when the alt seasons have happened for the altcoin market. So, if anybody wants Bitcoin to break up significantly higher, you better be bearish on your altcoins because there are very clear time periods in which the altcoin market goes on big runs. The only time periods that we have ever had alt seasons occur is when Bitcoin's breaking out into its all-time high and when Bitcoin's coming in for its top. So we would not be in either of those scenarios. In this situation here where everything pretty much remained flat right in here, only one coin went on a major bull run during that time, and that was Bitcoin. So anybody who is sitting there saying that, we want Bitcoin to break up, we want Bitcoin to keep going, and at the same time the altcoins are all going to go with it, historically, that's not what happens. That has not occurred. If Bitcoin goes on some big major bull run and starts heading to $300,000, it's going to go alone. It is not going to take those altcoins with it. Those altcoins will get punished during that whole time. That is what has happened in this market. The good news is I do not think that is what is happening here. I do not think Bitcoin's going on a major run. I completely think Bitcoin's about to start falling apart, and we're about to see some serious action happen in the altcoin market. And I think it's clear as day as we're heading into the 4.236 Fibonacci extension of the Bitcoin bull run, which is exactly what happened back in here for a big major super cycle for Bitcoin. And now, you have to wonder, why do I keep saying this? Why do I keep doing this? It's because of where the state of the market is at right now. This market's in extreme greed, 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 extreme greed. Everybody's a cool customer right now when prices are doing well. But I'm on my YouTube channel, I get the opportunity to see what it's like when sentiment completely shifts, because there are some people in this space, a lot of people in this space, who are not emotionally equipped to handle this market. And when Bitcoin tumbles and starts falling, they're going to come yelling at me. But the picture is completely clear as day. It's not my fault that you got a bunch of bad TA out there telling you we're going super high. Anybody focusing on this structure right here and saying that this structure is going to give us measurements on how high we're going to go out to next does not know what's going on in this market. This was the first initial profit take of Bitcoin. This is not a consolidation to set up for a new high. This was the first profit take, and they did a phenomenal job with it. They made it last 3 months. They got to dump so much Bitcoin onto retail investors' hands with laser eyes and diamond hands. It was profit taking by institutions and whales and dumping it onto retail investors. This was not a new consolidation event for a big significant breakout in Bitcoin. This was profit taking and media manipulation of the psychology of retail investors to make you buy it at the top. So how does all of that tie back into this, right? I'm talking about, hey, I'm looking for the total market cap to pull back. I'm looking for the total market cap to break out, and I'm expecting Bitcoin to fall apart. How does all of that tie together? And it all comes back to how this market behaves in the past. And we've had this happen at the top of each of the bull runs. And here we go. This is 2017 as the top of Bitcoin came in. We could see we had our first big initial profit take, like we're talking about occurring here, gets back up. And then as it's getting to move, you could see how the market cap is consolidating in here, gets a big breakout, and then it just keeps going. And even after Bitcoin falls, you could see the market cap of the altcoin market just completely continues to surge. We can even see when we overlay the total market cap of all of crypto, so this is going to also include Bitcoin in it, that the total market cap continues to push up much higher during this time period. So we're over here looking at the total market cap, but that's going to include Bitcoin in it too. So how is it possible that Bitcoin could be falling, yet the total market cap continues to go up higher? And that's because the altcoin market is going to completely take over at this time period. And even in there, when we include Bitcoin in the market cap, it still continues to go much higher for the total market cap of all of crypto. So regardless of Bitcoin being included in the total market cap of all of cryptocurrency, we still saw that the total market cap was able to continue pushing. And the reality is we'd probably see the bigger push showing up over here on the total altcoin market cap. But I'm so stern about this, right? I'm always beating this with just beating it like a drum on the top of Bitcoin coming in right in here, right? And it all just ties back to my studying of the cryptocurrency market, that you just can't have the altcoin market taking off at the same time as Bitcoin is. That is not how this market has operated. There's only specific times throughout the history of the cryptocurrency market where the altcoins can be performing well with Bitcoin, and that's during a time period of a breakout into an all-time high. Not the whole, and I'm talking like multi-year breakout, right? So we had 3 years of this, 3.5 years of this, and then it breaks out. At that time period, after a multi-year bear market, you can have cryptocurrencies break out and go on a bull run at that time. Otherwise, the only other times that alt seasons can happen are at the very tops of Bitcoin bull runs. That's how it's happened every single time. And there's so much stuff out there that's saying this time is different, this time is different. Institutions, balance sheets, corporations, blah, blah, blah. None of it's different. It's not different. It's the exact same. This has become a speculative bubble again for Bitcoin with no real utility. Say El Salvador that you want. Say Tesla adding it to its balance sheet all you want. You and me are not walking around going into stores using Bitcoin. And here we are at $70,000. It's been this long. The people who can understand this frustration are the people who went through 2017, watched that speculative bubble happen, went through all these years of a bear market, and then watched us go all the way up to $70,000. And guess what? We're still not walking around using Bitcoin for anything. Nothing. Zero. Oh, but I can tip it on Twitter. Who cares? I'm a bear on Bitcoin, regardless of if I think it's going to go higher, regardless if I think it's going to 72, 75, $80,000, doesn't matter. I put a 99.99% probability that there will not be a $100,000 Bitcoin. Cue this, so you're telling me there's a chance, memes. But what I'm saying is buckle up, because if that's true, if Bitcoin is done, the altcoin market is going to rip faces off. It's going to melt faces. It's going to be chaotic, fun, exciting, wild, euphoric, amazing. But the reality is, if you don't think that's going to happen, if you think Bitcoin's going to $300,000, I can tell you what has happened in this market previously. If you think it's going to $300,000, sell all your altcoins. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not investment advice. Do your own research. Contact a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Sell all of your altcoins and get into Bitcoin. If you think it's going to $300,000, if you think it's going to $200,000, because historically in this market, if something like that is to occur, the altcoin market's not going to go with it. It's going to be Bitcoin and Bitcoin alone. And I don't think people know that. I think there's this desire that they can all go together, but history does not show that to be the circumstance. History shows if Bitcoin's going to rip something like that, going to do something like that, it's going to do it completely on its own. It's going to swallow a ton of the dominance of this market. So if you want $250,000 Bitcoin, if you want $300,000 Bitcoin, you better be dumping your altcoins and putting it all into Bitcoin if you think that's what's going to be happening. Me personally, I don't think that's what's going to be happening. I think we're right at the top of the Bitcoin bull run. I think it's got just the tiniest amount left in it, if any at all. And I think the true show-stopping event coming to a computer screen, an iPhone, a Samsung screen near you is going to be big green candles happening over there in the altcoin market. So boom, boom, boom. All right, I'm all pumped up. I'm standing up in here like screaming in my office. And please don't take it personal what I'm saying. I'm just passionate about it. I've always had conviction in everything I do on my YouTube channel. When I come on here, man, when the market's in like complete depression and despair, and I'm sitting there saying, man, I think it's going to go up. I'm fighting against the world when that's happening, man. It's coming at me like a storm. People are commenting, people saying nasty, nasty things about me during those time periods. But I push through it, and I push through it hard because I have conviction. And this is one of these moments where I have really big conviction about it. So I'm just expressing that I have the conviction. I hope I'm portraying that at this time period, that I really do feel this way. And I'm trying to portray that I'm also really excited, because we know what happens in this market when the top of Bitcoin does come in. It's happened in each of the major cycles, each of the major time periods where a big monumental top comes in for Bitcoin that leads it off into a multi-year bear market, is that we see that the altcoin market goes crazy. So I'm excited for that. And this is just my best guess of what's going to happen in the market. And that's what we're all doing, right? We're all making guesses. We're trying to speculate and guess what's going to happen in the market. But in order for me to have all that conviction back in May, June, and July, I was not just looking at what was going to happen in the next day or 2 days. All of it was pointing towards this is how I imagine the rest of the market cycle playing out. I think we're going to hold these price levels down here in May, June, and July, because this is where we're heading to. This is kind of the next phase of Bitcoin. It goes off to that 4.236 extension. It really pulls back from there. The altcoin market goes absolutely nuts during that time period, like we see happening right here back in 2017. And that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what my conviction is. This is a continuation of my conviction of why the bottom held in May, June, and July. It's all a really big picture. of where my mind is at. And so while this silly little line here to come back test, that's short-term stuff. That's not, I'm just a guessing game. We'll see if it plays out like that. But my bigger picture perspective, I hope I kind of outlined it all right there for you. I'm a bull on the cryptocurrency market, very uneasy about Bitcoin, but that's a good thing because when Bitcoin pulls back, altcoins go nuts. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up for this one on a Thursday. I hope that you're doing well. I released a video late yesterday because I was doing updates over here on bcbacker.com. So I'll run through that real quick. Of course, you guys could check out my website here. It's bcbacker.com. Yesterday, I added in an Ethereum exit plan part 4 final update, and then I added a blockchain backer exit plan part 4 progress update. So the Ethereum one is 10 minutes long. The blockchain backer one is 20 minutes long. So if you're interested, you could check out this course. It's where I deep dive into the previous Bitcoin bull runs, the different altcoin market cycles. I tie them all together to show how they've worked in the past. I talk about my personal exit plans in here, and I teach you how to set up your own charts and your own indicators within TradingView and CoinTrader Pro. I talk a lot about mathematics and percentages, why those are so important to me. So not only did I add these two updates yesterday, but on October 31st, I did add a market update in there. And this is available to anybody enrolled in the course and anybody who newly enrolls. And you could check out all of this educational content over here on bcbacker.com. You can follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker. And I want to thank you so much for watching my channel. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick me up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.